What's going on, y'all? VNNCZ3 here, and I'm so glad you stopped by. That's right, you buddy. Don't be you. To spend some of your quality time to come hang out with, well, I guess all of us. There's us. All of us. Let's continue, though. Just as always, like the last video, all the info you need to know is right there. It's literally right there. From top to bottom, right? Well, let's go ahead and dive right into it, though. We'll talk about the reasons why we chose all of the relics we did. And by the way, the title says it all, guys. That is right. This is the video for the best in slot range dominant statted gears, right? So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Right, we're gonna go ahead and look at our free-to-play helmet. But before we get into our helmets, let's go down to our filters. Always go down to the filters. You have to. Select range attack. Hit the OK button. As far as all the helmets go, pay. Except for this Indulgent Visage, right? Only free-to-play helmet out there that's got good stats on it. Like, it's got infantry and range attack, but none of the other helmets have ranged attack on them. That's even free-to-play. Like, that's amazing. So the best paid one, on the other hand, is the Wormbone Coronet. Now, the Ancient Hat only takes 4 Ultra Rares, and the Wormbone takes 6. If you were to, like, top end at one of these, I would say the Wormbone will just last you longer. Not only that, but it's got the research and the army HP and stuff. I get it. The Bumble Helm, you're like, oh, it's better, but it's also 10 Ultra Rares. So we're trying to make sure it's like, buy $5 packs here or there, and then eventually get a good set. Not have to drop 5 and 20 and 50 or whatever, just to progress your relics forward, right? That's what we're doing here. As far as the chest pieces go, I didn't find any free-to-play chest pieces that had ranged attack, so I actually had to go to the army attack section down here. Right, because army attack is essentially ranged attack, infantry attack, and all that stuff. And armor of the abyss, right there, right? Bloop, 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 bloop. Took the cake, which is really cool, right? The only thing I've got with this is that it's only 5%, and it becomes purple at 2.5, but then to get to gold, it's 5, right? I just don't like the way it's like. It could be 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5%. You could be getting 1% per color, but yet they skew it so bad, so it's not even like. It's barely 1% at green, and then like not even 2% at blue. Like, you know, do you kind of see what I'm saying here? I wish they would scale the gear a little bit better. I get it, they want you to buy gold and they want all that good stuff, but I just don't know. I just think that they're trying to be a little bit too greedy. They could share the stats just a little bit, right? As far as the chest piece goes, the Hedonic beats the Hardened Carapace because of the... Well, it really doesn't, I'm lying. What I'm saying here is the Hedonic and the Hardened Carapace, these right here are basically the two you've got to choose from. You've got Army Defense on one of them, and then you've got Infantry Max HP on the other one. And so 9 times out of 10, most people will want the Hedonic just because of the 30% HP on it. But it's whatever. It's not a really big deal. Outside of that, though, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't select the Death Mantle, the Lethley Mantle. I wouldn't go for this one. I mean, look, it's 2 Ultra Rares. I get it, but you're gonna want ultimately to grow up into one of these Hardened Carapace or Hedonic Cuirasses, you know. So let's move on. Right. Blah 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 blah. All right. Honeycomb Chaps boots, absolutely the best in slot by a long shot. By a very long shot. This music really sucks. I know, right? So is this video. Gosh, let me click out of it. All right, though. All right, so boots and then dragon talons, right? So the reason why these ones right here, the honeycomb chaps, are like the best is because, like, literally, it should have been paid. This should have been a paid item right here, the honeycomb chaps. It should have been paid, but it's whatever though. Like the nether walkers, right? They take 1, and then the nether walkers. But I mean the other ones, right? Legs of the deceiver. I think it's 2. No, yeah, it's 2. And so. Some guys will debate and say nether walkers are better for all range, you know, or legs of the deceiver for bargains. But I'm telling you guys, go with dragon talons because it is 8 ultra rares, and I'm trying to say the word bargain, meaning $5 packs. But surprisingly, I've gotten a lot of these dragon irises right here, the glowing eyes, or whatever the case is, not dragon eyes, but the glowing eyes, right? I've gotten a lot of the glowing eyes lately. That's why I've gotten, you know, a blue set of talons relatively easy. Right, because that's the only good item pretty much in the entire set. As far as main hands went, as far as main hands go, I am deciding to go with the Harbinger, right? Because the Harbinger is the best free-to-play main hand weapon for ranged attack. We're talking about range dominant, right? So the second best, and that's pretty much clear as day because there's nothing else that comes close. Like there's just not. For mixed troops, Fiery Tomahawk is better, but outside of that, Harbinger is better. All right, so here we go. Here's the subject for debate here. The main hand: Wormrod, Decadent Sword, and Nectar Orb. Right? Nectar Orb and the Decadent Sword will have the exact same stat-wise for attacks, but different kind of defensive stats, right? Cavalry and ranged defense and HP are here. They're all tied in my opinion. It doesn't really matter. It depends what your dominant troop is on the second half, but the Wormrod is going to take the cake on this one. It's only 2 ultra rares and it's 25% ranged attack. These guys are both 5s, and so in my opinion, if you're going range dominant, Wormrod's the best way to go. It's the only way to go, actually. Literally, it's 2 ultra rares. Let's talk about offense, right? A lot of guys are immediately gonna go to something like this, right? They're gonna say the winter mitts are the best ones, you know, they're gonna be the best bang for the buck, and they're really not. They're legitimately not the best bang for the buck if you're range dominant. We're talking about range stats, right? We're not talking about army stats. We're not talking about any of that stuff, right? The absolute best free-to-play one is the Lunar Scimitar, believe it or not. A lot of guys would have you believe that the Worm Lantern is because it's 1% more ranged attack. But the Army HP of 11.5 outweighs that by a long shot. I was just talking to chat about that, right? It outweighs it by a severely, like a landslide. Like, it's not like a landslide. It outweighs it by that much. It's a landslide. And as far as offhands, I'll go with the Viral Switchblade. It's 2 ultra rares. I get 15% range attack, some other stats. Now, if I'm going for like long-term investment, kinda, you know, like long-term, I wouldn't even say like long-term investment, because winter mitts are pretty easy to get to blue. But I would just say if you're looking for something a little bit better, like I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, Eternal Codex, it's got 30% to 35 ranged. No, it's not a bargain. It's 8. That's not a bargain. 8 is not a bargain. 5 is a bargain. 3, 2, 1 is a bargain, but 8 is not a bargain, right? So yeah, winter mitts, you can get those, but if you're just looking for a really good range slot for your offhand, and you want it cheap, Viral Switchblade, why not? Winter mitts are great, but they cost 4 ultra rares, 4, and they only give ranged attack that it's good like this. You only get 5% at blue. You only get 5% ranged attack at blue. That's crazy. You're getting 7% here in each. At purple, which you can get this to purple fairly easy, you get, you know, almost 10% ranged attack. So, I don't know. Look, me personally, it doesn't matter what I think that I would go and do. I'm just letting you guys know what the best in slot is for range dominant. Like, if you're range dominant, like you send 200k range, 25k, you know, infantry, 25k cav, because you want to hit with all range, then this is the kind of stuff you would be wearing, right? But anyways, the accessories, best in slot is still the Lost Island Relics, because they made all the other ranged statted accessories pay to play. Check it out, right? Ambrosio Cup, that's infantry range, pay to play. Dragon Irises, that's cavalry ranged, right? That's it. It sucks that they did that. And I understand why they did it, right? Because they want you guys to spend money and invest money into the game, which is fine. I personally, I don't agree with it. I think realistically, if they're going to have an item like, here, let me show you. Right, if they're going to have an item like this, if they're going to have this kind of an item like this right here, where it's, you know, 2 statted, 8% on each, then they really should have one for, you know, infantry range, infantry, I mean, they got one for infantry cavalry, right? Infantry range, they got one for infantry cavalry, cav ranged, and then, like, you know what I mean? Like, well, there's only 3 of them, but still, they should have them. They should have the other 2. Yeah, infantry ranged cav, infantry, yeah. Infantry range, yeah, there's only 3 mix. Yeah, anyways. That's all I'm saying. They really should. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It really doesn't. But as far as like your best paid accessories, Worm Seals are still going to be the best for heavy ranged. But what I would highly recommend is Burning Scrolls, Light Rings. Most people that try to go one troop stats, like cav, infantry, ranged, they get pooped on when the other player has mixed troops. They get pooped on. Like, literally. They get just pooped on. There's nothing you can really do about it, because if you're sending in 375 cav into, let's say, 500k, but 100 of those k are all ranged, your 375 cav are going to get pinged down really good, you know? It's the way it works. It's literally the way it works. So, I don't know. A lot of guys will want to get like the Dragon Irises and stuff like that. It's 3 ultra rares as well. But you got to remember, right? The Burning Scrolls are going to give you army stats. That's the biggest reason why the Burning Scrolls are prioritized, at least in my opinion, over things like the Dragon Irises. Also, at a blue grade, you can clearly see Burning Scrolls beat Dragon Irises by 0.25% stats. HP and attack, right? HP and attack. So essentially you're getting 0.5 more percent attacks. If you want to compare the Burning Scroll to the Dragon Iris at blue grade, you're getting 0.25% more cavalry and ranged attacks. You're getting 0.5 attack, more stats, and 0.25 more army HP. So it's just better. But when you go to purple, yeah, they slightly take over by 0.15, right? But my Burning Scrolls have never been purple. They've always been blue. I've never really tried to get a gold Burning Scroll. They're great, 9%, 9%, that's really good. I mean, now these days they're not very good, you know, they got other kind of stuff like Ambrosio Cups and stuff, but outside of that though, hopefully this video wasn't too boring, guys. I understand, all that good stuff, right? The next video to come out tomorrow is going to be the mixed troop event gear, right? The absolute best in slot mixed troop, like literally the absolute best in slot for event gear. That's going to be the video tomorrow. That's also going to be the live stream tomorrow. Hopefully you guys don't miss it. So yeah, I'll see you guys there. But y'all know what I'm talking about though. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Be safe. Thanks for stopping by to spend some of your quality time to come hang out with all of us. And yeah, stay classy.